At some point, progress stops feeling difficult and starts feeling complicated. You're no longer just doing the work, you're thinking about the work, improving the system, refining the process, adjusting the routine. It feels productive. It feels intelligent. It feels like you're being careful. But quietly, something changes. Progress becomes something you manage instead of something you do. And when that happens, momentum begins to fade. Optimization feels like maturity. It looks like planning ahead. It sounds like thinking strategically. It feels like avoiding mistakes. So when progress feels uncertain, optimization becomes the default response. You search for better methods. You refine workflows. You tweak details that already work. But optimization has a hidden cost. It delays repetition. And repetition is what progress depends on. There's a point where improvement stops improving anything. You revise instead of repeat. You adjust instead of continue. You refine instead of execute. Progress becomes theoretical. You feel busy. You feel engaged. But movement slows, not because effort disappeared, but because attention shifted away from continuation. Momentum relies on rhythm. When you interrupt rhythm too often, momentum weakens. Every optimization resets familiarity. You never stay with one approach long enough for it to become natural, and when nothing feels natural, everything feels effortful. This is how capable people stall quietly. Progress responds to continuation, not elegance, not efficiency, not perfect systems. Continuation builds familiarity. Familiarity builds confidence. Confidence reduces resistance. Most systems don't fail because they're flawed. They fail because they're never allowed to settle. If you constantly optimize, it doesn't mean you're avoiding work. It usually means you care deeply about doing things the right way. But progress doesn't require constant improvement. It requires time spent inside the process. Sometimes the most effective change is leaving things alone long enough for them to work. The desire to make things better can quietly create pressure. Pressure to refine. Pressure to adjust. Pressure to get it right. But progress doesn't improve under constant correction. It improves under stability. Stability gives feedback, meaning without it, every adjustment is a guess. Instead of asking, how can I improve this? Ask something quieter. Can I keep doing this as it is for a little longer? That question creates space. Space for patterns to emerge. Space for learning to accumulate. Space for progress to become visible. Pause for a moment. Think about how often you change things. New plans, new systems, new approaches. Ask yourself whether those changes are improving progress or interrupting it. You don't need to answer immediately. Just notice. Optimization has its place, but movement comes first. When you stop adjusting every detail, progress regains momentum. Not because things are perfect, but because they're finally consistent, and consistency, given enough time, does what optimization alone never can.